taking her on as a trainee.
I did mention it to Mr. Lamont, yeah.
What did he say?
He said to do what I thought best.
Must have a lot of confidence in you.
We just want to get too involved in the day-to-day running of the place.
Why else would he buy?
It's an investment.
He's not in the motor trade.
More the trade. Are you so eager to get rid of Carole?
No, not at all. But you did mention it was part-time and there would be training.
Well, the way I can justify it is to take her on as a general dog's body, doing some of the things that Benny did, and let her get the training very gradually.
She'd accept that.
Oh, no.
But don't let me persuade you.
It's not that. How much do you pay her?
£2 an hour plus travel.
We could do £150.
Yes, but she would get training.
The men won't like it. They won't. She'll get very disgruntled.
She is a very hard nut to crack.
I feel like a traitor to my sex. I just want to tell the kid it's just not worth the struggle.
Isn't it? You've got to run this place in the end, by the sound of things.
After being passed over more than once for being a woman, yes. The thing is, the harder it is to get what you want, the more you expect from it once you've got it. And what I've got is problems.
That comes with the responsibility.
Sharon, come.
Reg Lamont, David Hunter.
Oh, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Yes, I've been wanting to talk to you. Could you drop by the motel office sometime today?
Yeah, sure.
Look, about Carole, tell her 3 half-days a week at £150.
Let's hope she doesn't get motor grease all over the furniture. Excuse me, I'll
Yeah,
see you
sure.
later.
What's all that about, then?
I've decided to take that girl on part-time.
No, I mean, what does he want to talk to you about?
Just the way he does things. You know the type, glad hand.
Yeah, I know the type. Long, wet lunches.
Not stupid, though.
Oh, I don't know. I hear the motel was underinsured by 20%.
I hadn't. How did you know that?
I make it my business to know these things, Petal. It's how you get on in this wicked world.
What are you doing today, Iris?
I got a sign on this morning, and I thought I'd pop round and see how Glenda's getting on.
Oh, because I wondered...
Morning. Suppose I'm a bit late for some breakfast.
2 hours late.
Yeah, well, I don't feel much like eating anything this morning. I've got a mouth like a tram driver's sock. I wouldn't mind a cup of that coffee, though. How's your headache?
Aye?
Well, last night you said you had a headache. That's why you didn't come with us.
Oh, yes, it's gone. Thank you very much.
Lucky you. I've got a right brain buster this morning.
I'm surprised the amount you put away last night.
Yeah, we did have 1 or 2, didn't we? Still, no use crying over spilt gin and tonic. We had a good time. It was well worth it.
Speak for yourself.
I'm glad I've got this chance of a word with you.
Well, as long as you're not going to shout and be nasty with me, I'm a bit fragile for a rollicking.
I'm not sure that I quite follow, but I've certainly got a few straight words for you. I won't have any of my lodgers coming home late, especially from the pub, and disturbing everyone.
Come off it. We didn't drink that much. Ask Iris. And after all, we weren't all that noisy.
There's more to it than just noise.
I see. We were just having a bit of a giggle. Life's grim enough as it is. You've got to enjoy yourself while you can.
Maybe. There's nothing wrong with a little fun, as long as it's not at other people's expense. I'll thank you in the future to remember that other people have been here longer than you, and they have their rights.
I think I'll go back to bed. Thanks for the coffee. You didn't have much to say for yourself, did you?
No, I reckon Maeve said it all.
I reckon she did at that.
Good for you, Maeve. Good for you.
Well, I was entitled.
You most certainly was.
Well, where was I? Oh, yes. Would you like to come into Birmingham with me, Iris? I want your advice about 1 or 2 things I'd like to get.
My advice? Maeve, what are you up to?
Thanks for last night.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed bits of it. Don't exactly go a bundle on the cross-questioning.
Well, actually, you mean?
Prying nature. Still, I suppose it's part of his job, but when it's applied to me off-duty, so to speak, that's something else. He's no fool. But he was under the impression I was trying to make him look like one. Convinced something is going on. Too well-mannered to ask me outright, but lots of clever little questions. Didn't like it, Reg. Didn't like it one little bit.
Well, I hear that you sidestepped it very neatly.
And how do you know that?
You told me about it this morning.
Did he now?
Don't panic, it'll blow over.
Reg, there's nothing to blow over. That's why I hated it. Why on earth should I feel guilty when I haven't done anything?
Oh, forget it, will you?
Oh, no. He's got your number, hasn't he? About the birds. Is that what I am? The last of a long line, am I hell? I think it's time to call a halt to the whole thing, so what I want you to do is take that back.
Well, that's very kind. Great. So now I can't even give a present.
It's too much.
Well, it wasn't bought with a calculator, Petal. I saw it. I thought you might like it. I mean, what do you take me for, I'm not trying to buy you, you know. I got feelings like anybody else. I mean, what's all this call a halt business? What does that mean?
It's this place. Suddenly I am. I'm running it. I'm responsible.
Well, I thought that's what you wanted.
It's what I want, yes, but it's the way I got it. Oh. I mean, can you put your hand on your heart and tell me that you'd have bought this place if I hadn't been here?
I have forgotten where my heart is.
I'm asking a very serious question.
How do I know? Look, Jennifer happened to bring her car in. You happened to be here. Did I fix that? She happened to ask you back to lunch. I certainly didn't fix that. I happened to meet Adam Chance. He happened to want to sell. Take all the happens away so I cook the books. Have I ever pressured you? Laid one finger on you, taken one step in your direction? I am not making any grabs.
The pressure is slight, Reg, but it's always there.
Well, it will get to be. So that you won't even notice it. What the hell am I going to do with that? Do me a favor, will you? Stick it back on your wrist.
Oh, Mr. Lamont.
Yeah.
Can I have a word with you?
Well, I'm a bit pushed for time, but what is it?
Well, you know when you took over from Mr. Chance?
Hasn't gone through yet, but what is it you want?
Well, I was acting foreman.
Yeah. Hey, is this personal? I wouldn't touch it. It's called delegation of authority. Any complaints in there?
No joy then, eh? With the governor? Leave it, that's my advice. I mean, what's the point? Now, tell me, what's the point? Have they docked your money? Your job's as safe as houses. So? What are you making waves for?
If I'm making waves, it's probably because I'm swimming against the tide.
Okay, so turn around and float with it. Make life easier for yourself. Mac.
You know what this is?
No, but I reckon I will pretty soon.
You bet. Because on this, I asked for assistance from the Commission of Racial Equality.
You said you'd wait.
And you know what? Believe me, this I've got a very good case.
Adam will be back, and
I just had a word with the big boss up there. And anywhere you want to listen, he's calling the tune. And you know what? He shelves it. Waffles. Puts it on to you.
me.
Ask him. Hiring there, that's you, innit?
Well, Adam's the one that hired.
Look, I'm getting the runaround, Sharon. But if you think you're going to settle me in by wasting time, you can forget it. Because I'm going to get some action, legal action.
Matt, there's no need to...
Look, there's a bit in here, too, about witnesses. Right here. That's you in it. Me and you. Me, you, and Adam Chance. The three of us were there. It's going to be my word against his, with yours just sort of tipping the scales. So I want to know which way it's going to go.
You have to ask that, do you? Hmm?
Well, there are ways of fuzzing the edges, you know. I just want a clear cut, just as it was, Sharon.
But it hasn't got to come to this, has it?
It's never going to happen to you, Sharon. Never thought it was going to happen to me either. You used to hear all these stories, and I thought, oh, no, not Mac. But you've got to believe it has, hasn't it?
Thank you. We'll have some more standing by, just in case.
Yes.
Come in. Do sit down. I thought you might like some coffee.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know whether Sharon mentioned it, but cooperation between the motel and the garage has always been useful.
Well, there's no great changes planned. I mean, whatever's gone on before will continue with my blessing.
Well, I think you made a very sound long-term investment.
Thank you. Oh, I think it'll pick up, given time.
You are primarily an investor.
Yeah. What's this cooperation?
Mutual advertising or overlap.
Oh, I'll leave all that to Sharon.
You don't intend to take a hand in the management?
I haven't really got the time. That's what I've got Sharon for. Thank you.
What's the matter? Yours off or something?
No, I'm not hungry. I was just thinking, trying to remember the most expensive meal I've ever had. In money, I mean.
What was it then?
Must have been in Monte Carlo.
You've been there?
Yeah. I went with a friend on a package trip. Miami, too.
God. Did you go in one of them casinos?
Yeah, that was a bit of a letdown at first. They've got them fruit machines. You know, one-armed bandits in the foyer. There's a lot posher in the back rooms, though. Private rooms, they call them, but they're not really.
Is that where you had the meal, then?
No. My friend took me to a place called the Hermitage.
It's a funny name for a restaurant, isn't it?
It was a hotel. Oh, you should have seen it. Marble columns, murals on the walls and ceilings. Oh, it felt as if Edward VII and Lily Langtry had just been in for a bite.
God.
We had 4 waiters for the 2 of us.
4? Blimey, I'd have been too scared to eat.
Why, they're just men working for the living.
How much was it then? I mean, the meal.
Well, with the champagne and that, it must have been about 80 quid, and that was 5 years ago. But it was for the 2 of us.
80 quid, eh?
Worth every penny of it. Especially as I didn't have to pay. Not a thing.
Evening, ladies.
Hello, Sid.
Evening.
How's Miss Gooseberry-Bush? Hey, where's Maeve?
Your wife is out visiting friends.
That's nice, isn't it? Me hard at work all day in the garage, and I come home with no one to look after me.
Oh, Iris and me'll look after you, won't we, Iris? Come on, then, Sand. Sit yourself down.
Ah, that's what I call handsome. Now then, what's on the menu?
Hamburger and chips.
Passion fruit to follow?
Do you need any?
All you have to do is put your finger in my custard and give it a stir.
Still looking after your hands, I see.
I have to look after them, don't I? They've got to do some very fine tuning up, these hands.
I expect you're good at that, tuning things up.
I've had no complaints up to now. Even got my own soap. Can't bear that stuff that smells like a hospital. Smell that?
You come in to eat a meal or carry on like some gigolo, eh?
Iris.
Well, you should hear yourselves.
Tired?
Very. And it's not over. I've got phone calls to make after dinner. Oh, and Carole. Sharon's managed to fix something up.
Oh, do tell yourself.
Carole,
Yes, Mr. Hunter?
Sharon's arranging to take you on part-time, 3 half-days.
That's terrific. That's terrific, thanks.
Well, I didn't have anything to do with it. And there's a snag. It's only $1.50 an hour.
I just have to do more hours. I've still got this job.
Well, understand if you can't do the same hours if you don't have the time.
Well, I'll make the time. Everything's ready for dinner.
Right, and then you can go. Or you can stay if you like.
Oh, no, thanks. Me dad complains I'm not home enough as it is. He won't like it.
Met the new owner of the garage today, Reginald Lamont. Your new boss. Well, you won't see much of him. Strictly absentee. Sort of investor that we need.
Oh, good, because I like Sharon. Oh, well. Good night, then.
Good night.
One thing before you go. Could you stay until we get back tomorrow? Kevin's coming in to measure up the bedroom, the cupboards.
Yes, of course. Well, good night, and thanks.
You're the one who has to do the work. I've invited Reg Lamont and his wife over for drinks one day next week.
Oh, not Monday.
No. We'll fix a day and a time. Sharon says that he has fingers in a number of pies.
Is that why you didn't invite him to supper? Bad table manners. Joke.
Yes, dear. You should get on with his wife.
Why, does she make bad jokes too?
She's a fan of yours. She read all your books.
By the way, right now is not a convenient time for the redecorating.
Why not? Kevin will keep out of your way. Carole can follow him around with a duster and vacuum cleaner.
She already does follow him around without the vacuum cleaner or the dust.
Ah, that was great, that. Just goes to show I'm not the only one good with my hands. Anyway, girls, I'm off. I'll see you later.
You've got no self-respect. Eh? Carrying on like that with him.
Carrying on? Come off it, love. We were only fooling about. It didn't mean anything.
I'll tell you what, Em. Now, let's get out of here. Find a place of our own for the two of us together.
All of a sudden, just
Well,
like
that's what you
that.
wanted, isn't it? For us to have a place of our own.
Yes, but you're not taking it seriously, me and him.
If we stay here, there's going to be trouble. I can see it coming.
What sort of trouble?
Bad trouble. He's Mavis's husband. The only one she's got, she's ever likely to get.
I told you it didn't mean anything. We were just having a bit of fun.
Oh, so you don't fancy him then? Well, mucking about in fun, that's all it all starts, isn't it?
What all starts?
I just said it, didn't I? Trouble. I don't want to see Mavis get hurt. She's been good to me.
Mind your own business. You don't know what you're talking about. He's a grown man. It's up to him what he does.
Blimey, you were bad enough last night in the pub. But at least
Just
you had an
hold your
excuse,
tongue,
then
young
you were
lady.
half-cut. Oh, come on, let's get out of here. Get down to London.
What's the hurry? We're all right here. Your trouble is you've got no sense of proportion. Just because I'm having a bit of harmless fun.
Harmless? Harmless? You should see yourselves. When you moved in here, you said it was so we could get closer together, to get to know each other. Well, all you've done is made me feel ashamed of you.
That's enough. Just you remember who you're talking to.
Well, if I forget, it ain't my fault, is it? I've had long enough to forget. And let me tell you something else. Mavis has been more of a mother to me in the last 3 months when I needed somebody than you've been in 13 years. I'm not having you muck up her life like you mucked up ours just because you can't say no to anything in trousers. Ow!
You haven't lived enough, learned enough, nor suffered enough to have the right to talk to me like that. I want a daughter, not a second-hand conscience. And don't you try and take it out on me for the mistakes you've made. Sure, I'd like us to be mother and daughter, but there is a limit. The price can be too high.
Crossroads is back tomorrow at the same time. Next tonight, it's the Comedy Cupboard, and get some in.
Don't make me have to choose between my freedom and you, because I need my